everyone, welcome to Sweet Tomato Vine Homestead. I'm Linda, and today I am in the kitchen and I am about to make one of my favorite recipes. Y'all, before I became vegan, I loved some lamb. And so today I am going to make a recipe and I am going to try to make it taste as much like lamb as I possibly can. But what I'm going to be using is vital wheat gluten. And this is vegan. And so you know that it's not any meat in here. It is vital wheat gluten, it's non-GMO, and it can make a lot of different protein recipes that will taste like meat. So I am going to use approximately 3 cups. That's probably about what I have left in this bag. There's 2. I think it's probably going to be really close. And there's my, not quite 3. I'm just going to pour the rest of this in. And I'm going ahead and open my other bag. And I get this vital wheat gluten off of Amazon. I'm gonna do me like another ½ cup. Okay, so that's about 3 cups. And y'all, this recipe calls for a lot of ingredients to make this taste similar to meat. So now I'm going to start adding my other ingredients to my food processor. And I'm going to use some chickpeas, and I'm going to use the chickpeas with the juice. I'm going to add 1 can to my food processor. I'm also going to add a ½ cup of water, because I've got a lot of other stuff that I'm going to add in here. This was a cup, so I did a half. I poured half in there. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to add some onions and some garlic, because I need some flavor in here. I need to get it flavored up really good. So I got onions and garlic. I'm going to use some smoked paprika. And this is just a paprika that has some smoke flavor added to it. So it's just going to give it some extra seasoning. I had to find something that I could get it open with. I did not have it open. So I'm going to do approximately 2 tablespoons of smoked paprika. So most of my ingredients are going to be basically around 2 tablespoons. So I'm going to use a couple of tablespoons of olive oil. Couple tablespoons of my garlic and onion powder. This is the onion powder. So that's about 1, 2. And y'all, it doesn't have to be exact. I'm going to do the same with my garlic powder. I'm going to do the same thing with my black pepper. It's best to just go ahead and do it like this instead of trying to measure precisely, but to guesstimate. I've made this recipe long enough that I know around how much. A couple of tablespoons of, this is liquid smoke. It's going to give it a smoky flavor. And y'all, I also use Worcestershire sauce in here, but I use a vegan Worcestershire sauce because if you may know, Worcestershire has anchovies in it. So anchovies in a regular Worcestershire makes it not be vegan. So I am out of my vegan Worcestershire, which I usually use a powder. I think next time I'm going to order a liquid because my powder caked up on me. It got hard and I had to throw it away. So I'm going to go ahead and just get a liquid next time. So what I'm going to use and try to take the place of it is some regular steak seasoning. And it does not list anything in here that's not vegan. So I'm just going to add some of that to my food processor. And I'm going to also add in some ketchup. I'm just going to add, a couple of tablespoons of all of these ingredients. And I'm putting them to the side as I use them. I am going to go ahead, I'm going to add some of this miso. Miso has a kind of a meaty taste to it. I'm just going to add, that's about a tablespoon of miso. And the reason why I'm not adding so much miso is because I'm also going to add some liquid aminos, and both of those have sodium in them. And I do not want to put too much sodium in this recipe. Okay, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to add the liquid aminos. I'm trying not to add too much of that because I don't want all of that sodium. So low on the liquid aminos. And I'm going to leave that out because I'm going to need it again. Just close this. And I'm going to add some red wine. Now I'm going to add more than a couple of tablespoons of the red wine. I'm going to add about a fourth of a cup of the red wine. And I have some herbs that I have washed. And I'm just going to take a handful of these herbs and I'm going to put them in there. And I have sage. I have some green onions. I have some, I need to go down in here and find some rosemary and some parsley. I just want to get a little bit of everything in there. And I need to get some, I still have not pulled up any rosemary. And I have washed them and I pulled a lot from the stems. And I just wanted to try and not get any of the woody parts. And I know I have a lot of the rosemary in here, but I'm not pulling up any right now. Okay, I was able to fish out some rosemary, but I did not have any thyme out in my garden fresh, but I do have some that I had frozen. So I'm going to go ahead and add some of this thyme to it. And what I'm just going to do is go down to the bottom and pull out some that have fallen off, some of the leaves that have fallen off, and I'm just going to add them into that. And then I'll put the rest of it back into my freezer. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get this mixed up. So this is what it looks like once it's finished. All your ingredients combined. And you just go ahead and pour this into your KitchenAid. And you can either do this with your hands or you could do it in the KitchenAid. And I plan to use all of this mixture. I want to use the all of the wheat gluten that I have poured into this KitchenAid. So I may be adding some more. I'm going to see. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add all the mixture. And then if I had to add more of the wheat gluten, I will. Because I want this to be a lot. And And I would rather have more liquid and have to add more gluten than to have more gluten and have to add more liquid, because now all my liquid is gone, and if I have to add more liquid, it will probably be water. So I don't want to have to add water. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get this mixed up. Try to get it to form a ball. Hopefully it's going to come close to forming a ball. I think we're going to be getting there. I think so. Looking really good. Now you could use some regular flour, or you can use some more wheat gluten. Get this out of the way. I'm going to sprinkle some wheat gluten onto my countertop. This is what it's looking like. And it's already beginning to build up some gluten. And so I don't want it to build up too much before I get a chance to do what it is I need to do. So I'm going to roll it out some, just kind of mash it out. And it smells really good, y'all. It smells delicious. All those spices that I added. And you can get your roller, your rolling pin. If it's not moving the way that you want it to move, and you can just give it a roll. Okay, so what I want to do now is I'm going to get my herbs ready to go into this. And I've got a lot of other stuff here. I got my mushrooms here. I'm going to be adding to the outside around because I'm going to make this like a roast. So what I need to do now is to clear one of these. I got all these full. I have all of my cutting boards full with vegetables. Because, y'all, the last time, I just did not have enough vegetables. So, I am trying to make sure that I have enough vegetables this time. And so, that is why there are so many vegetables here. So, what I am going to do is I'm going to take out these herbs. So, here are the herbs that I collected from my garden. And I'm just going to give them a nice rough chop. And if there's any woody stems left in there, go ahead and remove those. You don't want those woody stems in there. So what I have here, I've got some mint I got peppermint and some sweet mint. I have some sage, some rosemary, and I am going to need some more thyme because I have thyme inside of the wheat gluten, but I do not have any thyme that I'm going to put inside of my my mixture. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to season my mixture. Just season it with some onion powder, garlic powder. Add a little bit of olive oil to it. You could do just however you want to do your mixture, your stuffing. You can add whatever you want to it. I'm not going to add salt, but I am going to add a little bit of the liquid aminos to it. Totally up to you how you want to season yours. So now I'm just going to add it into my wheat gluten. And then I am going to just kind of roll it onto itself. Fold the ends. And now I have my pan here that I will be putting my roast in. Move my potatoes that I have in here back. Can you all see the potatoes? Lower this a little. Got potatoes in here, and I am going to be adding my roast in here on top of the potatoes. Okay, and I'm going to add the rest of my vegetables. I have some carrots that I had in my freezer. It came from the garden. I'm going to fill this container with vegetables because as I told you all the last time, I just did not have enough vegetables. I've got potatoes in there. I'm going to add some onions, some leeks, and some mushrooms. I got a lot of mushrooms over here. Just dropped some on the floor. And ones that I don't get into this pan, I am going to make sure I have some of the juice that I can pour on it into another pan because I want to get all of these vegetables cooked. Give my hands a quick wash. And now I am going to make my sauce. All right, so now it's time to make the sauce. And we're going to use the same stuff to make this sauce that we used inside of our Seitan. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to put some of this liquid aminos. That's why you can't put a whole bunch inside because you're going to put some in your sauce. I'm going to put some garlic powder, onion powder, smoked paprika, steak sauce, the steak seasoning. It's steak seasoning, not steak sauce. And it also has some sodium in it. Some liquid smoke. olive oil, a couple of tablespoons. I am going to go ahead and add some more of this miso paste. Not very much because it has sodium in it also. You just want to kind of go ahead and help it dissolve in there because it's kind of like a paste. Well, it is a paste, miso paste. And here is, you can also add other ingredients if you want. If there is a certain taste that you want in your sauce, you could go ahead and you can add that in your sauce. I'm going to add some dried rosemary and dried thyme. Well, I changed my mind. I'm going to go ahead and add some frozen sprigs. I'm just going to pull some of these sprigs off of this frozen rosemary that I had in my freezer. And you can freeze your rosemary, your thyme, your other herbs also. And they're easy to come off when you freeze them. I just take some and just drop them in like that. I'm trying not to do over kill on the rosemary and thyme, but I love to have this seasoned. You know, you don't, it's really not meat, so you want to make sure that you're seasoning it really good. So I'm going to go ahead and add some of my frozen thyme. So do we have all our ingredients in there yet? No, we do not, because we got to put our red wine in there. And that is what we're going to have more of than anything, is our red wine. That is our sauce. Red wine is our sauce. You can add some veggie broth in here also to make more sauce. Or you can just pour your red wine sauce on top of your vegetables. You could also add some water if you need to. And it is looking a little thick. I'm going to add just a little bit of water. Since I got a lot of spices in there, I'm going to add some water. Because I need a lot of liquid in here. So I added just a little water. And then I'm going to pour this sauce over my meat, my seitan, and over my vegetables. And all my miso did not dissolve, so I'm just going to add a little bit of, let's see if it's going to go ahead and dissolve. I might need to. Okay, just get that miso to dissolve. I don't want any lumps in my sauce. Okay, so that is what it's looking like before we put it into the oven. So I have my oven preheated to 375. And I'm going to put this in. And I'm going to check on it in 30 minutes. Because I told you my oven don't play. It'll do what it want to do. So I'll check on it in 30 minutes, see what's going on with it, and we'll go from there. Okay, y'all, it's been over 30 minutes. I've been watching videos, cleaned up the kitchen, And so I just want to check it and baste it. See how it's doing. And it's going to go back in, and the vegetables are doing nicely. So I'm going to baste the roast, and I am going to put it back in. And I'm going to see how tender these vegetables are by trying one of these carrots. Because you know this is vegan, so I don't have to worry about any meat or anything like that. So that's one thing I love about being vegan. You don't have to worry about anything. You can just go ahead and taste your food. So I am covering it and then it's going back in. I just wanted to check on it. So I moved the heat up to 400 and let it do some real cooking. And so it's going to be really hot, but I'm going to take this off and I'm going to go ahead and put it back in with no foil on it. Okay, so it still has a nice broth. It's not dried out, but this broth is going to thicken up and it's going to kind of start drying out some. So that is, I just don't want my vegetables to get overcooked. Okay, I had a carrot last time. Yeah, I'm sorry. I just got to make sure that my vegetables are not overcooking. So I am going to just put me a couple of mushrooms there, let them get cool while I return this roast to the oven. And I still have it at 400, but I am going to stay in here with it because I don't want it to dry out too much. Okay, so I have taken it out. I'm going to put my vegetables around the roast. I think I need a slotted spoon for this. I don't want to put all those juices in there right now. Okay, so get some of those carrots and potatoes. As I told you all the last time I made this recipe, I don't think I had enough vegetables. I know I didn't have enough vegetables around there because I was left wanting more vegetables. So this time I made sure I have enough vegetables to go around my roast so that I can have enough vegetables to eat. Those carrots and those potatoes have sucked up all that delicious wine sauce. And so I want to make sure that I have plenty of it on my plate. Now, because this is just a vegetable meal. This is all vegetables. So it is so good for you. And I got my little garnishes here. My parsley that came from my garden. I'm going to go ahead and slice me a piece and get it on my plate. And I want to make sure that I get some that has my herbs in there. And This did not get many of my herbs in there, but I'm gonna go ahead and take me a bite. I need some of this gravy on here. Okay, so this is what it is looking like with the gravy. I need a few potatoes and some carrots, because I am all about these vegetables. Okay, so this is what my plate is looking like. It is piping hot. Okay, y'all, so this is what it is looking like, the finished product. You can see the herbs inside. Okay, y'all, so here's time for the taste test. Now, y'all, I know this is not meat, but am I going to enjoy it like it's meat? I'm going to get me some of this sauce that's here. Y'all, you know I got a red wine sauce. Y'all, it's got a chew to it. Has a texture. It doesn't just melt in your mouth like you would think because it's a vital wheat gluten. You have to chew it. It's like it gives you that what you've been missing as a person who used to like meat. You want to sometimes chew on something that has that texture. Well, this gives you that. So, yeah, it is delicious. I cannot really dig into it like I want to dig into it. And y'all, it gets better the next day. It's more delicious. Just like if you've had a meatloaf, your regular meat, or any of your meats that sit there and absorb all those flavors and marinate in those flavors. So for anybody who is vegan, this might be something that you would like to try if you ever have a yearning for meat. If you're a person who did not go vegan because you just hated meat. I did not hate meat, but I can't go back to eating meat because it would just gross me out. But I do enjoy having something like this. So I hope that you all enjoyed this video and that you give the video a thumbs up, and go ahead and subscribe to this channel if you have not already subscribed, and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. And as always, thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye, y'all.